welcome back to my channel. I am Kimberly, and this week we'll be continuing with, you guessed it, bookish content. Alright, so first things first, if you are new here, please go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you never miss another video. And if it is that you are returning, thanks so much for coming back. Go ahead and like, comment. And if you have not subscribed before, since you're here again, you know you must subscribe this time. All right, so today what we'll be doing is going through my September wrap-up. Now, I must say out this disclaimer before we dive in, that majority, scratch that, all of my September reads were heavily entrenched in the mafia world of Cora Reilly. And the reason for this is I was ecstatic, dying, completely losing my mind for Fragile Longing, which I think I said in my booktube newbie tag. So yes, I was longing for Fragile Longing to come out because the original release date should have been from July, but there were some issues and some complications, so it was pushed back to September 30th. And I really just missed Cora Reilly's Mafia World so much that I had to redo a complete reread of all her books. Well, not all, but a bit of my favorites. And I must let you know that there will be 3 other follow-up videos this week that will also be based off Cora Reilly's books. And just to give my takeaway, she is definitely one of my favorite mafia romance writers. I absolutely love the world that she has created. I love the characters that she has created, and she has been able to hold my attention and to basically keep me wanting more from 2015. And based on her writing and where we're headed with the series, that will not change. As we're about to dive in, just wanted to throw that out there that this is all about mafia romances. So if you like the tall, brooding criminal masterminds who are tough on the outside, they show no weakness, persons are scared, they're bowed down to them, they command respect, stay tuned. First things first, so Cora Reilly has 2 main series that is set in her mafia world. First, you have the Born in Blood Chronicles, which deals with the outfits and the New York Familia, right? And then her second series, which was a spin-off of that, is the Cora Chronicles. I absolutely love the Born in Blood Chronicles. I enjoyed it completely. Luca Vitiello is bae. But I was a bit hesitant of reading the Cora Chronicles because when we were first introduced to the main characters, or the couple, or the leader, because in Cora Reilly's mafia world, the boss or the head of the family is not the Don, as is the norm. The head of the family is known as the couple. So when we were first introduced to the couple, who is Remo Falcone, I was just completely, I was like, no, this man has issues, something wrong with him. Him not so right it upstairs. And so I was really not looking forward to reading the Cora Chronicles. But lo and behold, I took up the first book and fell in love. And when I say I fell in love, I mean I fell in love. It became my favorite of the 2 series. I mean, the Cora Chronicles, Las Vegas is home for me. I am just out of this world, in love with the Las Vegas family, in love with the Falcone brothers, in love with Remo. Like, Luca, I love you, but Remo has my heart. Now, let's dive in. So the first book that I read was from the Born in Blood Chronicles, which was Bound by Honor. Now, this book was the start of the Chronicles. It was the first book that was written, and the leading characters are Luca Vitiello and Aria Scuderi. Now, Aria Scuderi is from the Chicago family, or the Outfit family, and she's the daughter of the concierge. While Luca Vitiello, he is the son of the capo of the New York family, and he is next in line to be capo. He is thought to be one of the strongest men in the familia, strongest men on a whole. His nickname is the Vice. And I don't even want to tell you guys how he got that nickname, because I really want you guys to read this book if you haven't read it yet. But trust me, his nickname is well deserved. Now, the Chicago Outfits and the New York Familia decided that they wanted to come to a truce. They wanted to put aside all the years of bad blood and to form an alliance. And just as with in times of old, whenever families are forming an alliance, they would do a marriage. That is exactly what was done. So Luca and Aria was promised to each other. Now, you can imagine how scared this young girl was. 15 years old, being promised to this larger than life man who she's heard so many cruel things about, heard how vicious he is, heard his nickname. So Bombay Honor basically deals with them getting married and trying to find their way together. I think it was a beautiful story in the sense that Luca was willing to meet Aria where she was. He was willing to be patient with her. He was willing to be understanding, because while he was a more mature man, she was coming into this. She has never even kissed a boy before, and he was very patient with her. I really enjoyed how their love blossomed and grew. And for me, Bombay Honor will always be a favorite of mine from the series, and because of that, I will always revisit it. So for Bombay Honor, I will definitely give a 4-star rating, because I really love this book so much. I thought it was a great start to an awesome series and great world development, and Cora Reilly really did an awesome job with this one. The other book that I read was Bombay Love, which was the second book where the main characters, which picked up Luca and Aria's life. Now, what Cora Reilly does, and I think for her, she really wanted us to get a feel of the couples, to basically pick up where we left off then. So while we had Bombay Duty, Bombay Hatred, Bombay Temptation, which spanned a 5-year period, it was important for her to bring us back to where we left off for Luca and Aria. So Bombay Love picks up immediately after the final scene of Bombay Honor. So we're immediately seeing them. They're in this blissful place because they have established a perfect routine. They have established what's important to them. Luca knowing that Aria is the most important thing in his life, and not necessarily the familia, which that's a whole nother thing which I will definitely speak on. But she is secured in her love, he's secured in their relationship, and everything is good. But in Bombay Love, we see how the outside forces, such as Aria's love for her sisters, Aria's love for her family, her need to want to help her family, help her sisters, how because of that it often led to her making decisions that affected Luca, or in some way could be construed as betrayal if others were supposed to find out some of the things that she did. And we saw how Luca had to deal with all of those decisions that she made, how it put a strain on their relationship, how because he stood up for his wife and because he supported certain decisions that his wife made as well as his brother made, how it resulted in his leadership of the familia being brought into question, and how persons even wanted to challenge him. And so that's what Bombay Love basically dealt with, the different challenges that cropped up, or the different challenges that they faced throughout their marriage, and how they overcame or how they bought certain situations, because trust me, Bound by Love was heart-wrenching. There were moments in there where my heart was just, it was just hurting, because you know that this is a couple that loves each other, that cares about each other, but because of situations beyond their control, because of decisions that they made, we're a scene where they were going through some really, really rough periods where emotions were high, and Bound by Love really takes you on a roller coaster. And I really appreciated Cora Reilly for this, because Bound by Honor, you really just saw the development of the relationship, and that's usually the thing with romance novels. You will see the beginning stages of the relationship, and once they establish that, babe, I love you, you're it for me, you're number one for me, that's where it ends. And we know, we live in the real world, we know that love is not the end all and be all of relationships. It is so important that there's good communication, emotional intelligence, consideration, compatibility. All of that is important. And I think Bound by Love is what gave us a direct look at how relationships really work, at what to expect, the different dynamics in a relationship, and how outside forces or certain decisions that one may make on your own without considering the implications, or without considering how this will affect your partner, how that can put a strain or affect your relationship. So Bound by Love was amazing. I really, really, really love Bound by Love. I actually gave it a 4-star. Well, after Bound by Love, I immediately moved on to Cora Chronicles, because as I said, Cora Chronicles took my heart. It had it wrapped up, tied up, and tangled up, and it will not let me go. I cannot count the amount of times I have reread the Cora Chronicles, particularly Twisted Pride, because that is definitely my favorite book out of the entire series. But so I dived into Cora Chronicles. I immediately started with the first book in the series, which was Twisted Loyalties. Now here is why I was hesitant to start reading the Cora Chronicles. Twisted Loyalties, the main character is Fabiana Scuderi and Leona. Can't remember her last name right now. But the thing is, Fabiana Scuderi is Arya's younger brother. And at the end of Bound by Love, we saw a glimpse of Fabiano. And this was not the sweet 11-year-old boy that we knew, that we grew to love, that we grew to appreciate. This was not the boy that was willing to stand up to his father, who he was afraid of for his sister. This was not the boy that when he first met Luca, he rushed him and started attacking him. This was when Fabiano was 9 years old, mind you, and Luca was 22 years old, big as hell, because he is described as the largest man. Like, I think Luca's height is about 6'6". He is the tallest, the broadest, and the buffest out of all of Cora's heroes. This is not a tiny man. And this 9-year-old boy was not afraid to stand up to Luca to protect his sister. Because to him, Luca was taking away his sister, and he was not okay with that. So we meet this jaded, angry boy who is now the enforcer of the Camorra. No, the Camorra has a very terrible reputation. The outfits and the familia like to consider themselves as being honorable men. So there are certain things that they will not do. So while they will torture, kill, do anything necessary to a man, they spare women. And there are certain things that a woman will not have to worry about, even in a time of war, and that is rape. No form of sexual abuse a woman will not have to go through. They will kidnap them, yes. if you do something to them will torture you if you owe them debt or you commit a crime, but you will never have to fear rape. Now the Cora on the other hand, they do not live to that standard. And as Remo Falcone likes to put it, they make their own rules. They do what they want. Their code of honor is by their dictates. So yes, from the initial jump when I met Fabian at the end of Bombay Love, I was like, nah, I'm not with this dude. I don't know how I feel about him. Fabiano, I don't like you. I not read your book. The Cora Chronicles can stay. I'm okay with the Born in Blood Chronicles. But alas, I read Twisted Loyalties, and trust me, I am so glad that I did. Now, I will definitely be talking about Twisted Loyalties in an upcoming video, so I definitely won't dive in. But what I will say that it was really awesome, because while I have reread majority of the Cora Chronicles, Twisted Loyalties was one of those books that I only read once. So this was a second reread for me, because there are a lot of elements in the book that really rubbed me the wrong way, in the sense that it was just hurtful for me to see. You know, I think it is important for parents to look out for their children. I am very big on that. Children should be protected at all costs. You should be the champion of your kids, and in Twisted Loyalties, that was definitely not the case for the heroine. A lot of the crap that she went through in that book was as a direct result of her sorry excuse for her father, and because of that, it was just really hard. But I reread it, and trust me, the second time around was so amazing, because I fell in love with Fabiano Scuderi all over again. And he is just the perfect guy. In the sense that he's a bad boy, yes. But when it comes on to Leona, there is nothing that he wouldn't do. There is, he is just awesome. You know? He will go to bat for his girl, and he definitely did that. So you can check back in about Tuesday for the next video, where I will definitely be going more in depth with Twisted Loyalty. So definitely look out for that. The fourth book that I read was Twisted Emotions, which was Nina and Kiara. Now, I did say that Twisted Pride is my favorite book in the series, but when it comes on to favorite husband out of the entire Born in Blood Chronicles, Cora Chronicles, Nino Falcone is my favorite husband. Now, here's the setup for this one. Now, just as how with Luca and Arya, an alliance needed to be formed. Here now, Remo needs an alliance with the Familia, because by this time, the Familia and the Outfits, their alliance has ended, and they're now at war again. Stay tuned for the other video where we'll dive in as to how that came about. So now Remo Falcone is upset. He is pissed. He is angry at the Outfit, because at the end of Twisted Loyalties, there was an attack on his family that was orchestrated by the Outfits, and now he wants retribution. Now he decides to go to Luke and say, you know what, here's the thing. Just as with you and Arya, you guys were able to find true love, whatever, form an alliance, I want the same. Now, first thing, Luca is like, none of my family members, none of the women in my family will not marry you, Remo, because Remo is certifiably crazy. Remo is bat shit crazy. I'm not pretty it up, I'm not go around it. Remo is sticky boom, him don't right to them head, him just, yeah. Remo have problems. Remo has problems. But Remo is still big. Okay? Yeah, Remo is still big. But Luca was not having it. So Remo decided, okay, fine, you can have my brother. Now the thing with Nino is, spoiler alert, he does not feel emotions. Not at all. They had a very traumatic experience when they were children, and because of that, Nino shuts down. He does not feel any type of emotion. He doesn't understand emotion. He does not process emotions. He is the literal definition of what a sociopath is. So Luca decides to give his cousin up for marriage, who is Cora Reilly. Now, unbeknownst to everybody in the family, and this kind of pissed me off because I was just like, how una don't know? Cora went through she went through two major traumatic situations throughout her life. Two major traumatic situations. Two. The first being, she saw her mother got murdered by her own father. And then she saw her cousin, which is Luca, drag away her father, and she knows that he ended up killing him because his father was a traitor. And also, trigger warning, she was raped when she was 12 years old by a family member. So to her, this marriage, she was scared to death. She does not do well with male attention. She does not do well with male company. She literally visibly shakes and shivers. And the person that harmed her, or the person that raped her, was a close family member who taunts her at every chance he gets. So while she was scared to death of going to the Camorra, because as I said, they have a terrible reputation, and that is without the fact that women aren't spared. They also know that Remo is not so right in the head, and as far as they're concerned, the entire Falcone family is crazy as hell, and them don't right it. So, but even with that, Cora was still willing to go to Las Vegas because she saw it as a way to escape. She saw it as escaping from her abuser and also escaping from the shame of what happened to her, because she knows that when she gets married, eventually everybody is going to find out what happened to her, and she was scared. So she really just wanted to be far, far away when that happened. So Nina and Cora, they got married. On their wedding night, based on how her reaction, Nina immediately picked up that something wasn't right here. And Nina and Remo took care of the situation. Just saying that, don't want to give out any spoilers, just know that Nina and Remo took care of the situation. They did it amazingly. Hats off to them. I appreciated it. And she went to Las Vegas with them. Now, why I love Nino so much as a husband is because he was so very patient with Cora, knowing what her past was like. He was perfect. He was willing to just be whatever she needed. So in the beginning, she definitely did not want a sexual partner. So their marriage was not consummated. And he was just there. He supported her and everything. He encouraged her. He boasted her. He was just so wonderful in helping her to come out of her shell, because of what she went through, she was very submissive and withdrawn, and that was not her true nature. That was not her true personality. And he nurtured her and gave her the courage to really step out and to eventually let go and release her shackles. So Nino, wonderful husband. Everybody should have a husband like Nino, minus the sociopathic side of him, but everybody should have a husband like Nino. And even with Nino doing all of that for Kara was working on Nino. Because this man who does not feel emotion, this man that was so closed off, who had to assimilate emotions, assimilate love for her in the beginning, she broke through all his walls, smashed them down completely. Remo became, Nino was just, yeah, Kara dealt with him right. And I really enjoyed the ending of this book and how they were basically able to set aside their fears, because Nino being afraid of his emotions, Kara being afraid of letting go, being afraid of what her past might ruin aspects of her future life, which she was now definitely looking forward to. But I really love the ending. For Twisted Emotions, I really loved it so very much. I definitely gave Twisted Emotions a 5-star. I love the way that Kiara dealt with trauma. It was not brushed aside. It was not just hints said that, oh, Kiara was raped, moving on. No, she was willing to delve into the psychological issues that Kiara was now dealing with, and was to show that even with having a supportive partner, it was still something that Kiara had to work through on her own, and it took time. And this was shown throughout the entire book, and even at the ending of the book, and even in the second book that featured Nina and Kiara, which is Twisted Bonds, which I guess I can speak about, which is Twisted Bonds, you still saw where Kiara was still fighting her demons, for lack of a better term. So I really loved how Cora Reilly did not shy away from the trauma, from the sexual trauma, its implications, the psychological issues that came with it. And even, I think what this book really does well with is how what Cora Reilly does well is how she deals, or how she brings forth the whole topic of different trauma. Because as I said earlier, Nino and Remo, they faced a very traumatic incident when they were younger. And while they were big tough men who were killers, they were apex alpha predators, they were the real deal, you still saw where what they faced still definitely affected them in the different aspects of their life and their outlook. And she did not shy away from bringing that out. So thumbs up to you for that, Cora Reilly. Really appreciate that. Trauma is real. We all may very well be facing our own different issues, and it's really good to know that when we pick up a book, we're not seeing where issues are being skirted over, are being overlooked, are being seen as trivial, but to know that these are things that can definitely cripple somebody's life. Now, the final book that I read, well, no, I read 2 books after that. So the other book that I read, backtracking, Twisted Bonds. Yes, now Twisted Bonds, as I said, follows Nina and Kiara again, but this time, as I said, same thing that's in Bound by Love, where they've now established that they're a couple, they have found a sweet spot, they are comfortable with each other, and it now showcases their married life. It showcases the outward challenges. Really and truly, Nina and Kiara didn't have any internal challenges per se. I think they both got to a point where they were able to communicate openly with each other. They were able to include each other in their decision processes. So really what you saw was the interactions with the other Falcone brothers, the different couples. So it was more of a feel-good book for majority of it. for majority of the book, it was much of a feel-good book, where he basically got to see the different aspects of family life and the different interactions with the different family members and everything. Towards the end of the book, though, it does get very, very dark and grim. Must put that out there. It does get very dark and grim, and it was heavy. It was definitely heavy, and that is such a key point that I can't even hint at it, because that would be a major spoiler, so I won't even hint at it. But I do say that it does get very heavy, but with the resolution of that situation, it does bring about some amount of healing and catharsis for the brothers and the family by and large. After that, I read Twisted Pride, which I will be talking about further, and the book that led to me going crazy and rereading majority of Cora Reilly's mafia romances, Fragile Longing, which came out September 30th, and yeah, I read it in one day. Not even one day, like a couple of hours. I completely lost myself in Fragile Longing. It was definitely worth the wait. Big ups to you, Cora Reilly. So for Twisted Pride, as I said, Twisted Pride is my favorite book. It's the main characters are Remo Falcone and Serafina Cavallero. Yes, Cavallero. Really love Twisted Pride. Love it so very much. But I'll definitely be speaking about that further. And then Fragile Longing now, which is set in the same universe, but it is actually a standalone. So it is not a part of the Born and Bred Chronicles, which ended with Bombay the Pass, but it's a standalone, but it is set in that same world, because the main characters, which is Danilo Mancini, did I say Serafina Cavallero? Sorry, Serafina Mion. Thank Remo for that one. But Danilo Mancini and Sophia Mion both are from the Outfit, the Chicago Outfit. So I will be doing an entire video reviewing Fragile Longing, so you can definitely look out for that. So that was basically all the books that I read. So that's it for my September wrap up. I think that was about 7 books. I read 7 books for the month of September, and I think I have about 7 books for October. Yes, so also look out for that video. So what will be coming up this week? So I'll be doing my October TBR list, so you should look out for that. And then I will be doing my review of Fragile Longing, and then I have one more video where I'll be looking at popular romance tropes, the Mafia Romance Edition, brought to you by Cora Reilly, of course. Now, as I am about to head out, I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, if it is that you have read any of these amazing books, let me know. Leave a comment, tell me your favorite books, tell me what you love, what you hated. Just talk to me. I want to talk to you. You know, and if it is that you are interested in any of these books, let me know too. If it is that you are a Cora Reilly fan, there is actually a Facebook group. It's called Cora's Flamingo Squad. So you can always join the discussion. It is amazing there, and you will never miss a beat. One thing that is also very cool is that Cora Reilly is also in this group, and she is a regular participant in most of the discussions. She answers your questions, she gives you hints, she's just amazing. I love the way she interacts with her fans, and we appreciate you, Cora. Now, if it is that you have reached the end of this video, you know, you stick with me this long, it means that you obviously like me and you like what I'm giving you. So please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, like, comment, share, and let's jam because I have more to give you, you know. So it was really awesome making this video. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed making it. You know, romance novel is my thing. I love it. I love a good romance novel. Now, while romance novels are my thing, I'll definitely be branching out more into some fantasy novels. So stick around. Some good things will be going on here. Now, once again, subscribe. Yeah? Did I think that? Yeah? Alright, and I will see you soon. All the best. Peace out.